My name is Kambic, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Landscape Architecture. I've been at UNM for a year and a half. I actually got interested in landscape architecture when I was living in Taos. I lived there for 2 years between my undergraduate and graduate studies and really fell in love with the place. I decided to apply for both a MLA and an MArch going back to graduate school because I felt that there was a real opportunity to start to create an interdisciplinary space between the professions and wanted to just take advantage of the excellent faculty at UVA, which is where I went to school, University of Virginia. When I graduated, I spent a little bit of time working in Charlottesville at Nelson Bird Woltz Landscape Architects, and then decided to move out to Denver. Wanted to live out in the West. After living in Taos, I wanted to move back to the West. I think that landscape architects kind of do a little bit of everything. We're sort of in between in terms of scale. We work on very small projects that would be considered an architectural scale. We also work at very large projects at a more regional scale, kind of in the planning realm. My definition of landscape architecture is that we work on anything from the sky to the bedrock, that we work on all of the surfaces outside and think about the way that we create space in the urban condition or the natural condition or just anything that isn't contained by a building envelope. My research focuses on water, infrastructure, urbanism, and political ecology. These come together around the specific work I'm doing right now looking at water infrastructure in the American West. I'm looking at the Colorado River and the way that water is allocated throughout the West, specifically right now in Albuquerque. I've had the opportunity in the last year and a half to work with a few colleagues on some competitions. I worked on these competitions with Ana Gonzalez Lara, who is in the architecture department, and Katia Crawford, who's also in the landscape architecture department with me. We've worked on a competition in Spain, which we won 3rd place, and a competition in Paris where we won 1st place. And what was interesting about working with these colleagues is that they really bring a freshness for me. I tend to be very sort of detail and kind of hardscape oriented on a certain level, infrastructurally oriented perhaps. When I've worked in a group with Ana and Katia, we all have this experience from other competitions we've done, other places we've worked. So when we come together, it's a much more streamlined process where we're all sort of working on equal footing that provides a really good discourse. But I'm really inspired by the landscape itself. I love the vistas that New Mexico has, even when you're just driving on the highway. I love all the beautiful and varied places that exist in this state. But really, I'm just inspired, I think, by the West in general. There's just this sense of possibility, openness, and adventure, I guess. I love the students here. They're really dedicated, they are critical thinkers, and they're willing to try things they're not totally comfortable with. I would hate to compare any student to another student from another school, but I couldn't ask for better students than the people I'm working with here. I really want to bring a couple things that aren't specific to any one part of design, but rather an enjoyment of their craft, an ability to face the unknown with a confidence that they can find out what they need to know, and conviction, so that when they go out in the world and they become designers, they have a confidence that they can find a solution that works environmentally, politically, socially, physically, for as many people as possible. So I guess that's really what I'm after in studio. I want them to make beautiful things. I want them to know how to construct things and use different materials and have concepts that are engaging and beautiful. But at the end of the day, I really want them to have that conviction and confidence in themselves.